Commander Zexithera stared at the holographic display, her four eyes blinking in sequence as the casualty reports continued streaming in. 3 years. 3 years since the Dominion had made what they considered a tactical masterstroke opening. A dimensional gate to a primitive world called Earth. There were numbers scrolling past her vision made her stomach acid churn. 17 billion dead across 47 systems, her aide, Lieutenant Morgan, reported with barely contained horror. And that's just the confirmed casualties. The Outer Rim territories have gone completely dark. The commander's mandibles clicked nervously. She had been present at the High Council meeting when Intelligence Officer Kretak had presented his findings about the third planet in what the humans called the Sol system, a world of bipedal mammals, he had said. No faster-than-light technology, no energy shields, no plasma weaponry. Their most advanced weapons still used chemical propulsion. Perfect for conquest, the Dominion leaders had declared. We'll open a gate, send through a few battalions, and have ourselves a new slave world within a cycle. How wrong they had been. The first indication that something was amiss came when the initial strike force failed to report back after their scheduled check-in. Then the emergency beacon activated, the kind that automatically triggered when 90% of a unit was eliminated. The second wave found the first wave's remains scattered across what humans called the Sahara Desert. But there were no human bodies to be found. The third wave never made it past what their intelligence had identified as a minor population center, called New York. The humans had somehow anticipated their arrival. Buildings had been evacuated and converted into kill zones. Every street corner held an ambush. Every window concealed a sniper. But it was the fourth wave that truly opened the Dominion's eyes to their error. Commander Zexithera pulled up the combat footage from the Battle of Moscow. She had watched it dozens of times, trying to understand how beings with such primitive technology had managed to outmaneuver forces equipped with plasma rifles and powered armor. The answer, she had come to realize, lay not in their technology, but in something far more terrifying: their nature. The humans fought like they had nothing to lose and everything to gain. When their weapons ran out of ammunition, they used crude explosives. When those were exhausted, they wielded knives and clubs. When those broke, they used their bare hands and teeth. They showed no mercy, asked for no quarter, and seemed to possess an inexhaustible capacity for violence. Worse, they learned. With every engagement, they adapted. They studied captured Dominion equipment and within days had reverse-engineered crude but effective countermeasures. Their primitive internet allowed them to share tactical information globally in real time. What worked in one theater of operation was immediately deployed worldwide. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Morgan interrupted her thoughts, "we're receiving another transmission from the gate facility on Kepler 442b. Put it through." The holographic display shifted to show Director Velnas, one of the Dominion's most decorated military scientists. His usually immaculate appearance was disheveled, his uniform torn and stained. Behind him, Zexithera could see smoke rising from damaged equipment. "Commander, you need to understand, they've figured out how to reverse the gate's polarity," Velnas said, his voice shaking. "They're not just defending their world anymore. They're coming through to ours." The transmission cut to static. Within hours, reports began flooding in from across the galaxy. Human forces had simultaneously emerged from hidden gates on 17 different worlds. They had somehow learned to construct their own dimensional portals using salvaged Dominion technology. But their versions were smaller, more precise, and infinitely harder to detect. The humans, it seemed, had gone on the offensive. Their tactics were unlike anything in the Dominion's military databases. They struck supply lines, communication hubs, and civilian infrastructure with surgical precision. They captured rather than killed when possible, interrogated prisoners using methods that made even hardened Dominion warriors break, and then released them to spread fear among their ranks. Most disturbing of all, they seemed to understand psychological warfare on an instinctive level. They left messages spray-painted on conquered facilities in dozens of galactic languages. "You wanted war. We'll give you war. Earth remembers. Your turn to be afraid." Commander Zexithera closed the casualty reports and activated her personal communicator. The High Council needed to hear this directly. "Honored counselors," she began when the connection established, "I request immediate authorization to initiate peace negotiations with the human government." Silence stretched across the channel before Counselor Prime Thexarin responded. Peace negotiations? With a primitive species? Explain yourself, Commander. With respect, Honored Prime, they are no longer primitive. In 3 years, they have evolved from a pre-spaceflight civilization to the most effective military force the galaxy has ever seen. They have reverse-engineered our technology, adapted our tactics, and improved upon both. They are systematically dismantling our empire world by world. Impossible. Our projections failed to account for human adaptability, Zexathera interrupted, a breach of protocol that would normally result in court-martial. We treated them as just another conquest, but they are unlike any species we have encountered. They do not fight to survive, they fight to win. And they are very, very good at winning. Another long silence. What are your recommendations, Commander? Zexathera looked at the tactical display showing the rapidly shrinking boundaries of Dominion space. Red markers indicated human incursions. They were everywhere. Unconditional surrender, she said quietly, before they decide we are too dangerous to allow to continue existing. The transmission ended abruptly. Through her office viewport, she could see the first human ships dropping out of hyperspace at the system's edge. Their design was crude but functional. Human engineering adapted Dominion technology with brutal efficiency. A new message appeared on her console, transmitted in perfect galactic standard. This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You have 1 hour to surrender this facility. After that, we will take it by force. Choose wisely. Commander Zexathera began drafting her surrender terms. The galaxy would indeed continue tallying the dead, but now it was the Dominion's turn to be counted among them. In opening the gate to Earth, they had awakened something that should have remained sleeping. Now, as human warships darkened the stars, the universe would learn what humanity had always known. Sometimes the monsters are not the ones hiding under the bed. Sometimes they are the ones lying in it.